Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Dogface Mark. Have you ever had an issue with getting enough cloth for all the duct tape and other things, bandages, whatnot? Well, today we're gonna solve that issue. We're out in our 4x4. What you're looking for is this checkpoint POI. It'll have the big truck and the checkpoint. What you're really looking for is all of these tents, which several of these road point checkpoints have it, but this one seems to have a lot. And what we're going to do is we are going to clear it. I made a copy of my world that I'm using, and I've had some other stuff in it, but we're going to clear this thing out, and then I'll see you back. If you want to know which checkpoint it is, it says it's the NDC checkpoint 1. It is a tier 4, so this is, which, you know, you don't need as much. You can get some of the curtains and beds and stuff like that will give you enough cloth early game. This is more for a little bit later in the game. We're gonna clear it out. Okay, I have cleared it. It's NDC checkpoint 1, 4 skulls, tier 4. But now you have a couple of choices here. And basically, it's mostly about the speed. See, like that doesn't do very good. These things are a little slow. You can use this, it's a little slow. I found to a degree, if you have a tier 5 or 6 one of these, I don't know, I think you might get a little more out of some of this stuff. You should loot those first, but I haven't looted anything. This is just a copy, so and I do try to get everything I can out of these because you cleared it. You went to all the trouble of clearing it. And I mean, you can use an axe of any kind. It wouldn't have to be a steel, but later in the game you should have, hopefully, the steel one. I have the legendary one. If you're methodical enough, you don't even really lose, and those will give you cloth. And then like those lights will give you electronics if you can always whack them with your, you have an impact gun. Get a little bit of electronics from those if you want. And these things will give you stuff too. They give you a blood bag. I don't know, the beds don't seem to really give you cloth. And that's what we're here today for mostly. But, you know, you can wrench all this stuff and get all of it. Kind of doing this in real time so you can see how quick it is after it's cleared. I mean, you do gotta clear it first. Those little dividers give you some cloth. And like I said, wrench the lights. They will give you some good stuff. And there was a duffel bag on top of that roof. A lot of people miss that, but and I mean, you have the little, what they call smiley robots. Heard a few people call it that. They give you some steel, which really at this point in the game, you seriously don't need steel. You should have a crucible or two. But I mean, you know, you can come here as a tier 4. As soon as you have something decent weapon-wise. And from what I've seen, if you have loot set to respawn, these tents will come back, oddly enough. They're not like cars and whatnot where they don't stay. They will actually come back. Even those things give you a little bit. You have to be a little methodical about how you do this, otherwise you will lose a few, I'm sure. And there are several of these, but I know this one seems to have more tents. And I mean, you can actually whack that stuff, will give you, especially early game in the POIs. Whack all that garbage, because it will give you cloth. And like these things will give you some electronics and whatnot. And even a light. That's cool. These will give you paper. A little bit of plastic. I know this is like watching paint dry. You can skip to the end if you want, but I want you to see just how fast this happens. After you have it cleared. And here's another one. And then you also have, I mean, the place gives you a lot of really good loot. And you have all those cars out front that you can wrench. I wrench those cars just because when I'm coming through here, I don't want to have to drive around these rotten things, these checkpoints. And like I said, there are several of these checkpoints. They have quite a few of them. Not all of them have as many tents. And they're all pretty high tier, so you don't really want to now I did, and we'll have to look at what I have in points in the salvage. this got in it? And I mean, you'll get cloth out of like this truck and all those cars. You either get cloth or leather. A lot of times you get. And I don't know if these will give you. No, doesn't look like they give you. You would think those would, because they got some kind of cloth on them. They're just giving us metal. So no. And I mean, you have this police car. And then you have all these bodies that you can get some plastic and some. They've really made the gore a lot worse in this game. But, you know, these will give you plastic, I believe, and a little bit of metal. So early game, which, you know, like I said, I would not come into a tier 4 early game. This is more of a late game thing. And then that's it. So let's go see. Well, there is I think this little thing out here. Yeah, that'll give us some cloth. And like I said, either a tier 5 or 6 stone axe. I like this to just make that because it's kind of the first thing you have. But either that or one of these, even the regular metal axe, the iron axe will work. The knife will, but it's going to take you a while. Even the machete takes a long time. You can use this and just whack at it with that. It will give you stuff. Might even give you a little more, I don't know. But it's a pretty interesting way. Now let's see what we got. We have 1, 2, 3, and a little bit. So just by busting up those tents, we got enough to make duct tape for quite a while. And then, like I said, if you have your stuff set to respawn, you can go in and re-kill all those zombies and bust the tents again, because they will respawn if you have respawn set on. Or just go find more of these things. But always chop the tents, because the tents give you quite a bit real quick. You know, it works well. So, but that's a tip that will help hopefully get you some extra cloth real quick. Never pass up the tents. But that's gonna do it for this one. I will catch you all in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.